We're owned by a real adventurer.
Always a joy to
so,
see you.
you know our
Hey
goods
there,
are good.
Your Majesty.
Hello, my lord.
Greetings. Do me a favour, and I'll be a real mate.
It's the great ruler.
I still can't get over it.
Hi.
I don't know what to say. Very good.
These are houses to leave. But still, it could be better.
You don't seem to have a lot of public support, darling.
Hey! Oh. Oh, see ya.
Deeply good. Hi. Will you...
Hello? Tickle, 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 tickle. Oh. Oh. Tickle, 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 tickle. Ah. Oh, what a lovely lady. Oh. Oh. Oh.
Mars Church today.
I could do this forever. Again, darling. I don't think I can. You're... almost too much.
Ah! I just can't believe what I'm seeing.
Nah. I wonder how long I have to stay here. Hi. The matron's nice and everything, but I'd rather have a mum and dad.
Are you going to be my new dad? You look really cool.
Congratulations! I'm certain the joy this child brings you will be unending.
I can't wait until I get to go home.
Ah, hello!
Daddy,
Dad,
I can't
I'm
believe
so
it.
glad you came
Daddy,
back. I've missed
I'm really
you.
happy you came
You're
back.
like the
Now.
best. I love it when you pick me up, you know. Oh, pick me up. Yay.
One, two, three.
Why is Albion called Albion?
Nice.
Does it mean something?
Oh, oi!
Hey, it's you.
The king, that's
Oh.
All stand to attention for the King of Albion. Logan, former King of Albion, you stand accused today of crimes against the kingdom and its people. Those who brought you to justice will now speak.
There's not a soul alive in the kingdom who hasn't suffered for his glory, and plenty who've died for it. I says, let him have some death of his own.
Look, I'm not one for lopping people's heads off, but we saw Major Swift executed like it was a bloody circus act. He deserves nothing less as far as I'm concerned.
But aren't we better than that? Isn't that why we fought to be here now? I've seen what Logan has done to this city. People starving to death, children forced to work, but killing him now won't solve anything.
It is not my place to decide his fate, but his betrayal condemned many of my people to death. He promised us salvation, and then left us to face the darkness alone.
I had good reason to break that promise, and I had good reason for the crimes you claim I committed. The day I returned to Albion, I received a visit from a blind seer, Teresa, our father's guide. She showed me the future of this kingdom. The darkness in Aurora is coming here, bringing death, destruction, the end of our way of life. The sacrifices I had to make, I did them to protect Albion. If a few had to suffer, it was to build an army. If a few had to die, it was to save a country. I have spent years preparing for this attack. Let me stand by your side now, and all my soldiers will be yours to command. Let us face the coming darkness, together.
If this is true, if it's really coming here, we are all in grave danger.
You have the power over life and death, brother. Now choose.
This is not the time for revenge. We need your help, Logan.
The king has made his decision. Logan's life will be spared.
I know you will never forgive me for the things I've done. You told me so once, remember?
Of course I do.
But what matters now is that we defend our land. The castle is yours, and so is the throne. I'm glad to be rid of them.
You have fulfilled the first part of your destiny. You were little more than a child when you left the castle. You have become a hero, a leader, and now, finally, a monarch. But your journey is not yet done. Now you are king. You can know the truth. Albion will soon be attacked, and the threat could not be greater. Darkness is coming to our land. It cannot be reasoned with, it cannot be halted. The ruler of Albion is all that stands between the world we inhabit and that darkness. That is why you had to take your brother's place. The course of history demands it. If you do not succeed, everything we know will come to an end.
Why didn't you tell me all this at the start? It was never about Logan, was it?
I told you what you needed to know, and I never spoke anything but the truth. With Logan on the throne, Albin would have been doomed. This much I know. Only with a hero wearing the crown do we stand a chance of survival.
And how do I stop it?
You won't. Its arrival is inevitable. 1 year from now, the darkness will fall upon Albion. All you can do is prepare, and hope to save as many of your people as you can. How you do so is up to you. 2 paths lie ahead. You may keep the promises you have made and be known as a benevolent ruler, but understand that doing so will leave little to spend on the kingdom's protection and may lead you to disaster. It is not easy to be popular and keep the treasury full, unless you are willing to sacrifice your personal wealth. But you may also choose to break those promises, to harm your people in order to save them. You will not lack the means to build the army you need, but you will be hated. This path will cast you in the role of a tyrant, as it did your brother. You have 1 year to do what Logan could not. Be the ruler that readies Albion for the greatest threat it has ever faced, and be the hero that can stand against it.
Your Majesty, I'm not sure what to say after receiving such news. The darkness that is coming. People won't understand what it means. Nobody could, without living through it first. We need to prepare. If we can't stop the attack from happening, we have to be ready when it comes. Having Logan's troops on our side is a good start. But you will need to raise a fortune to pay for the army we'll need. Hobson will show you the treasury, and I'm sure he can explain just how to fill it.
Indeed I can.
Then I will leave you to it. Ben and I will begin recruiting and training soldiers at once.
If you will follow me, Your Majesty. Oh, how I have looked forward to this moment. This is it, Albion's royal treasury. The store of the kingdom's total wealth. It's, well, not as replete as one would like, but just imagine this room shimmering with hills, valleys, and plateaus of gold, a topography of riches going all the way up to the ceiling. It will require nothing less to build this army everyone is talking about. Which brings us to the second item on today's agenda, and one I'm personally very excited about. Setting the tax rate for the coming year. As you probably know, your brother was taxing the people rather heavily, and some say that this has led to poverty, starvation, and other societal ills. You have 3 clear choices, Your Majesty. 1, lower the tax rate, which one could argue would help the poor and the hungry, but would also leave the treasury in a miserable state. 2, maintain Logan's policies. Not a popular move with the people, but moderately popular with the treasury. And 3, and don't let my enthusiasm influence you in any way, raise the taxes even further. True, many will suffer in the short term, but we will be able to protect the kingdom and run our fingertips over... Very well, Your Majesty. Well, how very noble? Yes, I suppose noble is the word. How very noble of you. The people are no doubt dancing in the streets, and we are bankrupt. You will need to be more ruthless if you wish to save the kingdom, Your Majesty. There are other, less salubrious means of filling the treasury, of course. You may donate your own gold, should you have enough. Though I must say, such charity is unheard of. However you decide to proceed, you should acquaint yourself with the Royal Ledger. It is a logbook that allows the reigning monarch to make deposits and withdrawals from the treasury. A most useful financial tool. But my, look at the time. You really ought to attend to the next item on today's agenda. Riva has a most intriguing proposal for you in Bowerstone Industrial. Now, I know you have had your differences, but it is time to put those behind you and work together. Nobody can raise money like Riva can, I assure you. I have seen to it that your appearance among the populace is well publicized, so expect a crowd.
The armory is at your disposal. Swords inflict moderate damage quickly, the weapon of choice for an agile warrior.
Don't tempt...
Oh, happy day! His Majesty, the King of Albion, graces us with his radiant presence. I knew last time we met that you would emerge victorious from such public sibling rivalry. And now, here I am, to assist you in filling your coffers till they are fit to burst. What better way to begin your reign than by reinstating one of my most successful policies? There is no greater waste than the idleness of our city's youth, but my employment scheme guarantees children of all ages will have something to occupy them, whilst ensuring our factories are properly manned.
It's just monstrous. Don't listen to him. You promised you would end child labor. Remember that promise now.
And what would you have us do with the snotty little indigents?
The only way Bowerstone is going to climb out of the gutter is through education. Nothing is more important to our future than that. Turn this factory into a school. Give the children of this city the chance they never had.
A school? Well, that's an original thought. Well, if you'd like to be known as a pauper monarch, then by all means, listen.
The factory will become a school.
Thank you. We can really start changing people's lives now. This will be an Albion worth fighting for.
I shall begin the necessary modifications at once. Welcome to Reaver Industries Learning Center, Bowerstone Industrial's first ever school. You can now feel secure in the knowledge that your children can become the well-educated automatons you always wanted them to be.
If you spend lots of gold, I can use it to buy more supplies. So come on, spend. Great pair of trousers.
Ah, hello.
It's okay, I guess.
You have triumphed in many battles. I wonder, have any of those victories had any significance? Countless brigands, chiefs and generals have made war before you, slaughtering their fellows until the ground became sodden and crimson. Yet despite all this bloodshed, there is no end to conflict. All the questions they fought to settle remain open. War is self-sustaining. War will never end, because there will always be those willing to wage it, unless you kill them. And that will require a massive weapon of supreme, devastating power. Have you got anything like that? Come on now, give us a look. Now that's what I'm talking about. That catastrophic instrument of death in your hands. You could bring an end to all conflict for all time. Well, it's now a foregone conclusion that war will soon be obsolete. So my work here is done. Ta. Ah, your Royal Highness. I am your most loyal subject. Well, there is this fellow called Andrew, but after him, it's me. The secret I bear is as secure now as it was when it was entrusted to me many thousands of years ago. It's actually more secure now than it was then, because even I don't know it. Well, this is a bit embarrassing. I'm going to go now. If I remember it, I'll give you a holler.
Hello there, Your Majesty.
Dad!
At your command.
Doing? I don't want to.
Yes. Yes. Oh no.
Whenever anything. Boo! Hiss!
Nah!
Bah! Nah!
Hello. I am positively astounded by your achievements. I do believe that is the maximum amount of coin you can store here. Frankly, I'm surprised the floor doesn't collapse.
My king?
Not so fast,
Greetings, sir.
Greetings, your majesty.
At your command. Awaiting your command, my lord.
Ah, it's our mighty...
At your service.
All stand to attention for the King of Albion.
Hail to thee, beloved your majesty. So good to see you, your grace, your wonderfulness, your munificence.
In Mistpeak Valley, there's this thing, and it's called the monorail. And it's called that because it has one rail.
Hello? One, two, three.
Woohoo! Hiya! I bet everyone remembers what you look like.
Today, you will decide what is to be done with the Bowerstone Old Quarter, site of the Battle for Albion. Paige will offer her proposal. Reva shall stand against her.
You may speak.
Your Majesty, our victory came at a great cost to the city. You vowed to fight poverty, but our actions have made the problem worse. You must act now. I ask that the old quarter be rebuilt and its former residents rehomed. You wouldn't just be helping those in great need. You'd be sending a message to your people. They're scared, Your Majesty. Let them know they can count on you.
We destroyed the old quarter. It's only right we rebuild it.
The king has reached his decision. The old quarter shall be rebuilt, and its former residents will have their homes returned.
Thank you, Your Majesty. This will be a very popular move.
I suppose there may be something to be gained by rebuilding part of the city. It shows our sense of industry has not yet been dampened. Very well, Your Majesty. Despite the current climate of fear and great national need, Riva Industries has once again struck a blow for the honest man on the street. The sad sight of the decayed and war-torn old quarter is no more. We are proud to present the new old quarter.
Is there a more beautiful spectacle than a big pile of gold? Forgive me the rhetorical question. In any case, we are certainly doing well, but we are still short of the target. As a matter of fact, our very first order of business might have a bearing on our financial situation. The time has come to decide the annual town guard budget. As you can imagine, the people like to The people will be delighted, Your Majesty. But will they thank you when they are dead? Not unless they are turned into some sort of awful zombie creatures. That isn't what is going to happen, is it? Anyway, this will leave a sizable gap in the treasury. Unless you can cover the expenses out of your own pocket, I'm afraid we shall be in dire straits indeed. Let us now turn our attention to the rest of today's business. Here is the royal schedule I have prepared. As you can see, you have a busy day in the court, but a tremendously enjoyable one. Decoration is a passion of mine, and I simply cannot wait to see your choice. The interior designers await you in the throne room.
Hi, Dad. Oh, you're back. Hooray!
Attention!
Welcome to the sanctuary.
Greetings, Your Majesty. My lord.
Ah, it's the great... Sir.
All stand for the king.
Majesty.
Today you decide on the decor of the castle. Two of Albion's greatest interior designers have come to present their suggestions.
You may speak.
Your Majesty, I am Herman Worthy, and I have a design in mind that will blow your little royal socks off. Imagine a celestial scheme capable of lifting the shadows that haunt these halls. A fabulous balance of serene hues that announce to the world, I am a strong, virtuous leader. Hear me roar. But also, look how pretty my home is. You are an enlightened king. Let the heart of your castle be enlightened too.
Celestial? Serene? Pretty? Do you wish to be known as a ruler or as a fool? I am Sybil Maleficent, Your Majesty, and I can tell you that people respect what they fear. This castle should be a fortress of dread. I propose that we flood the rooms and corridors with blood, or at least a suitable paint substitute. Let all those who look upon this palace know terror, whether they be your subjects or your enemies.
It may seem trivial, but appearances can affect the opinion of the entire kingdom. The choice is yours, Your Majesty.
I wish this to be a fortress of dread.
The readers of Castle Design Weekly will be delighted with your intelligent choice.
Well, I, for one, am seriously considering cancelling my subscription. You're all witches.
Today you decide on the future of Aurora, Your Majesty. Kaelin will speak for her people. Riva will dispute her cause.
You may speak.
I am here to seek the protection you promised. It is too long since my people felt safe, or knew of life without suffering. We were honored to join your fight to claim Albion. Now it is time we joined your kingdom. Do what your brother failed to do. Help us to rebuild Aurora and protect it as you would your own land.
There is nothing so noble as embracing other cultures, and I, for one, could not be happier to count Aurora as part of Albion. But surely they must work for that privilege, and I happen to know just how to put them to good service. There is an abandoned mine in the Auroran desert that holds enough materials to benefit the whole kingdom. Let us employ Kaelin and her people to gather what resources there may be. That can be their payment.
You are talking about forced labor.
Well, let's not get bogged down in semantics. It's a fair transaction.
Aurora will become part of Albion, but they must work for this privilege.
The king has spoken. Aurora shall be mined for resources. Its people shall receive the protection of the throne in exchange for their labor.
You are no better than your brother. He may have left us to die, but you wish only to exploit us.
Welcome to the new and improved Aurora, an oasis of friendship, camaraderie, and valuable resources. Visit the city that Riva Industries rebuilt from sand and tour the local mines where you can witness the Aurorans' refreshingly vigorous work ethic. Aurora, a gem glowing in the darkness.
A wise decision in court today, Your Majesty. While it is true that your popularity in Aurora has suffered, the people closer to home are not too concerned. This could prove to be a very profitable arrangement. And speaking of Aurora and profits, we may have stumbled upon some very exciting news in that area. It seems that a group of Albion explorers visiting Aurora have discovered a rare diamond in the desert. They heard the legend of this extraordinary gem from the locals, and understandably set out to find it, without a moment's regard for their own lives. Which may go some way to explaining why only one of the explorers returned in one piece. He came back empty-handed, speaking of the hideous desert beings protecting the treasure. Think of the glory, Your Majesty, the adventure, the romance, the large sums of money we stand to make. The diamond is located in one of the caves beneath the Auroran wasteland, reportedly the site of an ancient, abandoned temple. You need only to take it.
At your service, my king. Greetings, nice sir. Yay!
Greetings, sir. Yes, sir.
Always a joy to see you.
It's the great
Greetings, sir. Waiting your command, my lord.
Ah, hello. other business to attend to?